Hey everyone! Today, we are going to be discussing some of the principles that are used for reading with deaf and hard of hearing children. Many researchers at the Gallaudet Center, Laurent Clair, the Clair Center for Education, they had done a bunch of research and collected data researching how deaf children learn to read. These researchers noticed that deaf parents and deaf guardians do specific things while they're reading to their deaf and hard of hearing children. There's some really great different strategies that have been noted and researched that really help those children learn to read. So that group of researchers at the Laurent Clair Center for Education decided they needed to share these strategies with all of us. They're really beneficial so that we can learn how to better improve our strategies for reading with our deaf and hard of hearing children. So we'll start with the first principle. It's a simple one. Use ASL. Pretty obvious, right? Of course, use ASL. If we want to give our kids access, we need to use a visual language and provide that using ASL and all signs that we can. The second principle states try to keep both languages visible. It's a difficult thing to do. It can be challenging, but do what you can. Meaning, you have some options there. Maybe you're sitting with your child, sitting next to them. You pull out the book in front of you. Maybe you are signing the book while your child holds the book. So that way, the child is able to see the English text that is right in front of them in the book while you're providing that visual communication, that visual storytelling. And asking your child, hey, do you want to help? Do you want to hold the book? They love that. Or you could set up the book on a table or someplace that you can have both of your hands free without finicking and feeling like you're stuck with just the signing space that you have. You could also hold the book and then only sign with one hand. It's also an option. So you just try whatever works for you and keep trying these different strategies to keep the languages visible. This comic strip is quite cute. I'll give you a second to read it. It's a really great example. The little boy tells his mom, okay, you talk to the book and I will flip the pages. You just keep talking. You talk to the book and tell it a story. I will turn the pages for you. It's really sweet. And, kids always want to feel involved. They enjoy that. They feel like they're a part of something. The next strategy, principle number 3, so sometimes we'll see in a book the English text is, whatever it may be, don't feel like you have to follow every single word on the page and I am only limited to that information. I cannot expand or add upon. It is not true at all. Add more information. Expand on information. Whatever you feel might be helpful or important to mention. Anything that you can add to a story and elaborate on in that text to share with your child is beneficial. So, for example, you'll be able to see a page from this book. So in the book itself, that original sentence is so short. Just 2 sentences. Jack needs burping, so Nora had to wait. And that's it. That's all that you get from this page. It's just a short little blurb. But the signer, the adult who is storytelling in ASL, adds so much information. It happened, Dad was really busy. So that means Nora had to go and meet up with her mom, tap on Mom. But Mom was busy too. She was busy with the baby. The baby needed burping. So Nora tapped on Mom, said, "Hey, I want attention. Pay attention to me." But Mom just shooed her off. "Nope, I'm busy." So that meant Nora had to wait. So that expansion really brings the whole story together. It's a lot of extra information, but could be necessary. A book's text might not be so clear. There might be some subtle information. But if you add something to help expand on that concept, your child will only develop those concepts quicker. Principle number 4. Deaf readers typically will read a story the first time a specific way, but the third, second, fourth, fifth time of reading a story until whenever is more on a story reading continuum. This means the first time that a story is read, there may be a lot of extra added information, expanded upon concepts. You're really developing the concepts that first time to give your child a real full, comprehensive understanding of the story. But some books you might read over and over and over again, and the more times you read it, the less information is necessary. The 6th time you're reading a story, you don't need to have all the information that you've set up as a baseline in the beginning, because the concepts are already there. The story is known by your child anyway. Principle number 5. Deaf readers typically follow the child's lead. This means, if your child really wants to read super fast or read really slow, they want to jump to the end, skip a bunch of pages, it's fine. It is okay. Another example is that if the child really isn't so motivated, they're kind of just looking around, not really wanting to be a part of it, but we have to be encouraging as parents, and we can't give up. We can't say, "Oh, if you're not interested, I guess that means I won't read this book." No, keep going at it. Keep trying different strategies, but at the same time, don't force your child to be involved. Just try to gain their attention. Just follow their lead. What are they feeling? What page do they want to see? It's all okay. Follow their lead. So this group of researchers, one researcher, Caroline, her last name is Luippold, she researched and found out that different parents who are deaf, teachers who are deaf, who are reading to deaf and hard of hearing children, this researcher found out that children who are really motivated to read and develop their reading skills are motivated because their parents followed their lead all their upbringing. It makes a big difference. Kids feel more motivated because they know that their parents are on board with where they're going to take them. So it's really important to do that. Principle number 6. Deaf readers typically will make what is implied explicit. So some information may not be prevalent on a page, but there might be some hidden information that adults know and can recognize immediately, but kids just see right through it. They don't recognize the concept if it's not explicitly right there in front of them. They can't really apply those real world situations. So it's our responsibility as parents and guardians to not keep information from them, but whatever the text is saying, we need to do the work to figure out what is implied and how we can make that clear to our children who are reading the story. So this picture right here is from a book called The Dancing Fly. And you can see that sentence in the story is quite simple. There isn't much information about how this man is feeling. He looks really angry. That information isn't explicit. So we, as readers with our children, can add, oh, this man is really mad, and he's mad because blah, blah, blah. So we would add in the emotions that are potentially shown on the page, but not made explicit. Maybe he is a baker or a chef, and those words aren't on the page, but then your child can relate that information to maybe someone that they've seen in that career as well. And this man is mad because he was baking and this fly just won't leave him alone, and it made him really angry. So we, as adult readers, need to make sure that we are connecting these topics to the story and making them explicit. Principle number 7. Deaf readers will typically change where they produce their signs. So you could sign these vocab words on the book itself. You could sign them on your child's face. So, for example, the sign for cat could happen on your child's cheeks or on the book itself in the pages and signing cat on the character's face. Or, your third option and the most obvious one would be in the normal place that we would produce the sign correctly on our own face as parents. Principle 8. Deaf readers will typically adjust their style to fit the story. So this cute comic, again, quite funny. So the little boy tells his dad, no, Dad, no, that's not how you do it. Your voice has to be different. It has to be really big. You have to sound like where is my, that story of the 3 little bears. So it means deaf readers will do that exact same style of changing our voice, we're changing our signs. So if it's a really big daddy bear, we're going to sign really big and where is my, bed or whatever he is looking for. Principle 9. Deaf readers tend to connect the information from a story with real-world concepts. So, for example, our story from last month was The Kissing Hand. And it was a story about going to school and the experience of feeling nervous about going to school. So deaf readers would then take that opportunity to discuss with their child, remember that first day of school, that first day of daycare, you experienced that as well. Or, your brothers and sisters went to school and they felt nervous. This is the same thing going on in this story with these animals. So you really can connect real-world concepts to the book. Real-world experiences with the book. Principle 10. Deaf readers know that all children struggle with keeping their attention. They're kids. What can you do? But we really need to try to get creative as parents to keep them involved and keep them entertained and paying attention. One option is a light tap on the shoulder. That's very acceptable. Or a little nudge just to make sure they're still awake and paying attention. Or the book itself, maybe you have that open in front of you and the kid isn't really paying attention, so you put the book on their lap and draw them in. or you can really up your facial expressions and facial grammar. Another option you can try is to keep your language and the book in a place that your child can see, within their peripheral vision, what they can see, kind of in their visual field, so that they know that something is still going on, that sign language is still happening right in front of them, but they might not be paying attention. So all these options are acceptable, but there's one that is noted here that is not acceptable, is grabbing your child's chin and forcing them to pay attention. Please don't do this with your deaf and hard of hearing children. There are so many of us who have had bad experiences in the past and feeling we're not in our own control when our parents just grab our face and force us to pay attention. So we really want to encourage them to be great readers, but in a positive light, not pulling on their chin. Principle number 11. Deaf readers use their eye gaze to grab their child's attention and keep them participating. Eye gaze is exceptionally important. So sometimes, parents might be reading a story, and if your children really aren't paying attention or looking another direction, try to get in their view and try to bring on that eye contact. If you have multiple children sitting with you for a story, you don't have to keep eye gaze with each and every one of them. Just keep scanning, keep checking in with everyone to see if we're all on the same page and all paying attention. Principle number 12. Deaf readers will typically role play and take on the characteristics of a character in the story. So that's really helpful for a child's understanding of the concepts in a book. What the story is really about. They understand the characters better and where they're coming from. For example, we could try different role-playing strategies and practice them on and off with the different books that you are using. The more practice you have in this, the better. So keep playing with it. Principle number 13. Deaf readers, when they're using ASL for visual communication for a story, a lot of books have the same text over and over and over again. So what you can do is change it every time it comes up. Get creative. The first time, maybe you use the ASL sign for the word. Maybe the second time, you fingerspell it. Maybe the third time, you would use maybe some ASL classifiers to depict what's going on in that story. So for example, this book called Roll Over, this has a lot of the same verbiage over and over and over again. Roll over, so it's over and over and over again. So some different strategies that you can try. You could sign the word roll. You could fingerspell ROLLOVER. You could use your entire body to get up and show rolling over on the couch, standing, whatever you're doing. Change it up. Give kids more of the understanding that things don't have to be signed one way. There are many ways to sign, and when you're utilizing these strategies, it keeps them interested as well. So I have this little game that anyone at home can really experiment with your family. It's called Fast Forward. This is a great way to practice with your family. Maybe you all sit around the table or on the circle on the floor, whatever works for you. Pick one sign that exists in the world. Maybe for today we'll try cat. So you try to sign cat really big. A big cat. And all must participate. So everyone gives it their best effort of signing cat really big, and you all take turns. Then you all sign it really fast. And so you can see all these different ways, adjectives and adverbs of how we can sign these things, and try it at home. Pick a sign, try it with your family, See if everyone's on board. How's everybody doing? Who signed it the best when we did it really fast? Or, just have fun with it. It's a game that everyone can participate in, and it is a great way to warm up your sign language as well. Back to the principles. Number 14. Deaf readers make sure that when they are present and signing a story, we want the entire story environment to be positive. Children are learning sign, they're learning how to read. It is really important that we keep things positive and encouraging. Because everything that we do influences our children. I mean, even when us as parents are dealing with negative situations, it does affect our children. So if we aren't motivated, and we're like, I don't want to read this story today, we as adults have to realize that I need to put on my best face and show my motivation even when I don't have it, and show that I want to read this book even if I don't want to. Keep your kids involved and be present for them and positive. The last principle, number 15, deaf readers have high expectations that their children that they are reading to will become literate. They will read well. Because if we as parents are like, they'll be fine, they'll get to school, everything's fine, no, we really have to support them in their quest of becoming great readers. All people can offer this support. We really need to have high expectations that our kids will do well and be at the same level as everyone in their reading skills. It's not that, my child is deaf, they'll be behind anyway. It's none of that. It is I, as a parent, highly expect that my child will read. They absolutely will read, and they will have good reading skills. That's where we need to come from, because then your child can feel, maybe I can be like my peers. Maybe I can read well. We're modeling that expectation that they will then eventually take on themselves and have high expectations for themselves to do really well. So there's one researcher, Whitesell. She did a bunch of research and noticed there was one teacher that she became kind of fixated with and said, wow, her students did amazing. They developed these literacy skills at an amazing pace. They are really successful. So, Whitesell really wondered, what is so special about this teacher? So the more she spent time with her and studied her mannerisms and what she was doing in her classroom, she realized that the one big difference with this teacher opposed to other teachers that was so positive was she had full expectation that her students will be literate at the level that they should be. There wasn't any of like, they're not trying, they're going to be a little bit behind. None of that attitude was present in her classroom. It was all positive and all encouraging that you're doing great. You are reading, you're doing it. And those children really took that on as their own success. So keep that in the back of your mind. It really works. And this quote, I'd love for you to take a moment to read through. It really is our responsibility as adults to keep kids interested, keep them motivated, have them be involved and participate in reading. We are encouraging their love of books. We have to. So all these 15 principles are something to think about. Keep in the back of your mind. But if you have any questions, comments about these principles, if you want more information, please do reach out to us here at Shared Reading. We have more information that we can even share with you. Or if you're looking for some ideas and strategies on how you can best work with your family, contact us. We're here to support.
Hello. Today's book is called Me and Mama. It's written by Cosby A. Cabrera. Mama sits and sings. Good morning. Her singing sounds like sunshine. Sometimes, when Mama sings, it sounds like the birthday song. I tiptoe to where Mama is. Where Mama is, it smells like cinnamon. Back behind me, my brother, Luca, and my dad are still asleep. But I want to be with Mama. I see the window. I go up to it, and I breathe on the window. It makes a cloud. A cloud on the window. It's like a mirror. Outside is windy and rainy. The water from the rain splashes against the outside of the window. It's raining, which means it's the perfect day to go outside in boots and play in the puddles. Jump in them and splash the water. I tell Mama. Mama says, no, you have to go to the bathroom. Oh, bathroom, okay. But when we're done in the bathroom, we go outside. Cup. This is Mama's cup. This is my cup. Mama's cup can break. Ooh, you have to be careful with it. My cup. This is my cup. They sound different. Mama's cup sounds like clink, clink. My cup sounds like duh. What happened? Mama's cup broke. Oh, it's broken. I'm sorry that happened, Mama says. It just happened. Things just happen. I nod. Me and Mama brush our teeth. Mama says, you have to brush in little circles. So I brush in little circles. Next, I go into the shower. It's nice and warm. It feels like rain. Just like it. When I'm done with my shower, I get out, and Mama gives me a towel to wipe down with. Next, I see my silver dress. Mama has a silver dress just like mine. Shoes, I have silver shoes. Mama has shoes that are silver like mine. We're just the same. But Mama says, the silver dress and shoes today? No. Okay. So I walk back and hang it up. What do we do next? I think and I pick pants that have plaid. P-L-A-I-D, plaid pants. Plaid pants. I pick those pants. I go to the kitchen. Mama tells me, sit. So I sit. Mama, I'm hungry. That's what I say to Mama, I'm hungry. And Mama says, I know. You know what I did? I have oatmeal ready in a bowl for you. Oh, phew. Mama eats the same thing. This is my bowl, this is her bowl. In her bowl, there are blueberries sprinkled on top. In my bowl, there's banana sprinkled on top. Next, we have to get our hair ready. Mama says, you need to comb your hair. I say, okay, and comb my hair. I say, Mama, I don't want the barrette, not the one with the bumblebee. I don't want that today, no. I want the barrette that's blue. Mama, she knows I like the bumblebee barrette. She does. But today, no, today I want something different. So Mama gives me the blue barrette. I have a barrette too. It's pink and purple together. I give that barrette to Mama because her dress is fuchsia, F-U-S-C-H-I-A, fuchsia. It's a mix of pink and purple, a mix, so I give it to her. I say, Mama, I want you to comb your hair. Mama and me have boots. My boots are the color yellow. Mama's boots are the color red. Her boots are big and tall. Mine are small. When we're ready with our boots, we have to be careful going outside and opening the door. We have to be careful because our dog, whose name is Max, M-A-X, Max the dog, has a tail, T-A-I-L-E. And when we go out the door, we don't want to close it with his tail stuck inside. We don't want that. So we have to be careful when we go out. So we close the door after Max is outside. Then we can close it. Max the dog doesn't have boots. Me and Mama and the dog go out and walk. The three of us walk together. I notice that there are trees. Some of the trees have holes in the trunk. That's because before, they had long branches sticking out. Branches, B-R-A-N-C-H-E-S. There used to be branches, but now there are holes. They also have, in the upper branches, nests, N-E-S-T-S, that birds left there. When the birds were cold and done with them, they left the nests in the tree. I also noticed while we're walking the sidewalk, S-I-D-E-W-A-L-K, and I see grass growing up out of the sidewalk. I say, Mama, what's that? And she says, that is moss, M-O-S-S. Oh, it's like velvet, V-E-L-V-E-T. We walk, and I think. There are people going to the store. They go in and they stay for a long time. The store is just like a box that they stay in. Some things don't change. Me and Mama and our dog Max The three of us walk together. I notice that the trees are tall, big tall trees, but the sky, S-K-Y, sky, is even more tall. It's taller. I'm talking with Mama, and Mama says, you know, songs and singing. Songs have highs and lows, highs and lows. Oh. We're walking along, and what happens? Me and Mama, we step in a puddle, P-U-D-D-L-E, puddle. We step in together, and the water splashes. S-P-L-A-S-H, splash, water splashing. The day is done. It's time for bed. Me and my brother, Luca, L-U-C-A, we need to go to bed first, before Mom and Dad. They go to bed later. So the two of us get into bed, and Mama, I ask her, will you mind reading us a story? She says, yes, I'll read you a story. And I say, no, me first. And I take the book, because I like to start every story by saying, once upon a time. Mama laughs. She laughs and laughs and laughs. Her teeth are so beautiful. I laugh. I'm like Mama. I laugh too. Mama says, you are my girl. You are my best girl, and I love you. I love you. I yell it, I love you. My brother Luca, he's already fast asleep. So Mama, she pulls the blanket up. She pulls it up on me, right up to my chin, so I can sleep. Then Mama walks to the light switch. She switches it and turns the lights off. I'm in bed, getting ready to sleep. I'm thinking, I'm dreaming. And in my dreams, I think about today. Everything I did, I think about seeing so many different things. The window, the dog, Max, going for a walk in the grass and the trees. All those things. I see them like many different pictures. I'm tired. I remember my dad and my brother Luca in my dreams. I remember the barrettes. I remember being in a warm shower. All those things coming together in one dream. I'm tired. My eyelids are heavy. And I know I will always have my Mama and her love. The end.